Hi, I'm going to start with the problem that we're addressing. In terms of the percentage of adults in the United States that don't meet minimum literacy standards for participation in today's society, it's been recorded as 52%. Now this figure's been replicated time and time again over the last 2 decades in the adult literacy and skills surveys. As far as I'm concerned, that's nothing short of a crime. Now by that, the sort of person that can't meet minimum literacy standards cannot read a medicine label and respond accordingly, cannot read a document from a lawyer and comprehend it, cannot read a document from a bank. It's a major, major problem. America's not alone. You look at a country like Italy, 80% don't meet that benchmark. Best country in the world, Norway, 30%. We haven't solved literacy. UNESCO says that literacy rates are often sort of 99% in the United States. But if you look at the definition is that I can read one simple sentence about myself. So if I could read the sentence, I'm a cook, I'm literate according to UNESCO. Clearly that's patently inadequate. So it's a major problem. In terms of estimated costs in the United States alone, $300 billion per annum. They believe that a 1% increase in literacy leads to a 1.5% increase in GDP. Social costs immense, whether it's health, whether it's crime and so on, related to literacy. Basic fact there in terms of the likelihood of surviving beyond the age of 5 is increased 50% if your mother is literate. In India, a study came out last year that you have a 35% chance of living beyond 1 month if you're born to a mother who is not literate. So major, major problem, and as far as I'm concerned, the biggest problem in education. Now, we actually believe, and this will be pretty radical, we believe that there is a panacea. Everyone says there's no panacea to these things. Well, I think it's wrong. I believe that we can solve literacy for a child in the United States for less than 10 cents. We know how to do it. The technology is there. It is not a technical problem. It's not a difficult thing to teach a child to read. We've solved as a society far more difficult problems. Putting someone on the moon is far, far more difficult than teaching a child to read. In terms of developing countries, we believe it's possible for less than $10 to teach a child to read when they're in a school situation. If there's no school, we believe it's possible for less than $100. That's essentially what we're trying to prove. So Skoolbo, which we started on 3 years ago, is setting upon this dream to simply ensure every child learns to read. We're also looking at numeracy as well, basic spoken English, but literacy is our core focus. So a little bit about me, first of all. I was a teacher for 11 years, then 10 years ago I left and set up a company called 3P Learning, and we came out with a product called Mathletics. Originally a CD-ROM based program, then we expanded to the web in 2005. Within 6 weeks of launch, it was Australia's most used educational program. 18 months later, sort of by early 2007, became the world's most used math program. Since then, earlier today it clicked over to 16.5 billion questions have been answered on the Mathletics platform. We've done things like World Math Day, which was on a month or so ago, that involved nearly 7 million people. So now, in doing Mathletics, we discovered there was certain things where you could bring about radical improvement. I'm not interested in 1 or 2 or 3% improvement. What we found was that we could lift basic math skills by more than 100% in less than 2 hours of task time. So radical improvement. One of the greatest problems, I think, in the system today is low expectations. In general, if you put a technology product out there and you lift standards by 5%, you're seen as a hero. As far as I'm concerned, you can do much, much better. And it's a problem if people think that 5% is a success. Now, in Skoolbo, we're based in Singapore. We have a young, vibrant team that's very passionate and very eager to change the world. So we've created Skoolbo over this time. It's actually the biggest educational game that's ever been made. It really is quite huge. Some of the key pedagogies behind it: make it fun. you've got to hook the child. You know, engagement and the multiplayer aspect, and really keep them hooked, not just for a 2-week period, but for sort of many years. Our goal is certainly for 3 years, 1.5 hours per week for 3 years in terms of our engagement metrics. We believe that it's incredibly important to provide opportunities for the parents and loved ones and teachers to say, wow, and the impact that that has on the children is immense. Fast-paced, high-volume learning. More than 600 questions per hour is a sort of rate that we see as what the children should be doing to maximise that learning for this sort of skill. Opportunities to fail, definitely. Remove all the limitations. One of the biggest problems for us as adults is we place too many limitations and restrictions on what the children can do. Learn by doing, not watching. Children don't learn well by watching videos and so on. You need to get them in there and doing. So we released it back in June. In terms of over a 10-minute time period, we're seeing 12.6% improvement. We're seeing much greater than that when you extend it out. One of our problems is we have to massage the improvement levels actually lower so that they become believable. It's an interesting problem to have. But virality, it's increasing, it's rapidly increasing. It's sort of 10% per week. We've been running a number of events, forming partnerships and so on, so we see partnerships as a key part to solving it. So the likes of Samsung, Microsoft, Collins and so on have been joining us. We're doing a big event in Los Angeles at the end of this year called LA Kids Rock, all designed about really motivating the children. And our biggest event will actually be in September, which is called Friend Our World. And it's a partnership event with Microsoft and Peace One Day. So I'll go back and really make a radical statement. I believe that illiteracy can be solved much like eradicating polio. Tough ask, but the problem is a people problem and not a technical problem, and that we could do it for less than $20 billion on a global scale per annum. So in terms of today, we're interested in any sort of partnerships to help this vision come to fruition. So look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.